This is Capital Secrets, and what you're about to hear is not just a story about college. It's a story about debt, about promises, and about an entire generation that was told education would guarantee stability, only to discover they had been financially trapped before their adult lives had even begun. For decades, the American dream followed a simple formula: study hard, go to college, get a good job, build a stable future. And for much of the 20th century, that system actually worked. College was relatively affordable. Public universities were heavily funded. A summer job could meaningfully help pay tuition, and graduates often entered an economy where wages, housing, and opportunity still moved together. But beginning in the 1970s, something slowly changed. State funding for universities began declining. Tuition costs started rising faster than inflation. And at the exact same time, America's economy became increasingly dependent on degrees. A college diploma stopped being optional. Politicians continued telling students the same message: college is an investment. Debt is temporary. Your future income will make it worth it. And millions believe them, because at 18 years old, most people are too young to fully understand what decades of debt actually feel like. Banks understood. Universities understood. The government understood. But teenagers chasing the American dream usually did not. And so the student loan machine expanded, year after year, decade after decade, until eventually, student debt in America exploded past $1.7 trillion, larger than credit card debt, larger than auto loans, second only to mortgages, and unlike almost every other form of debt, student loans became nearly impossible to escape. You can discharge gambling debt in bankruptcy, business debt in bankruptcy. Even some massive financial mistakes can eventually disappear. But student debt often follows Americans for decades, sometimes for life. And this changed something deeper inside American society. Young adults stopped beginning life with opportunity. They started beginning life underwater. Graduates entered adulthood already owing tens of thousands of dollars. Some owed over $100,000 before receiving their very first paycheck. And the timing could not have been worse. Housing costs exploded. Healthcare costs exploded. Meanwhile, wages for many workers stagnated. So millions of Americans found themselves trapped in a strange new reality. Educated, but financially fragile. Working, but never truly catching up. Entire generations delayed buying homes, delayed marriage, delayed children, delayed stability itself. Because debt quietly consumed the future they thought education was supposed to secure. And the psychological effects became enormous. For many Americans, student debt no longer felt like a financial tool. It felt like permanent pressure, a monthly reminder that survival itself had become expensive. And yet, the system kept growing. Universities built luxury campuses, administrative costs expanded, private lenders profited, servicing companies profited. Politicians kept promising reform, but tuition continued rising anyway. Because once easy debt entered higher education, colleges had less incentive to control prices. Students could always borrow more, and government-backed loans guaranteed the machine would continue operating. This created one of the strangest economic cycles in modern history. The more expensive college became, the more necessary degrees appeared. And the more necessary degrees appeared, the more students borrowed. The machine fed itself. But beneath the economics sat something even more painful: expectation. Millions of Americans did everything society told them to do. They studied, graduated, worked hard, followed the rules. And many still ended up financially insecure. That broke something emotionally inside the American middle class, because student debt was never just about money. It was about trust. Trust that hard work would still create stability. Trust that the next generation would live better than the previous one. Trust that the American dream still functioned. And for many people, that trust quietly collapsed. It transformed education from a ladder into a liability. And maybe that is the darkest part of all. A society once built around upward mobility slowly transformed learning into one of the most profitable debt systems in modern history. Not through force, not through conspiracy, but through decades of rising costs, easy lending, and economic pressure quietly pushing millions into the same financial trap. And the consequences are still unfolding today. Because when a generation begins life buried under debt, the future of the entire economy changes with it. If you want to understand the hidden systems behind money, power, and modern life, subscribe to Capital Secrets.